Hello, and welcome back to PixelPia Creative AI. In today's tutorial about PicLumen, we are going to take a look at advanced settings and how they impact the outcome of our image creation. So with that said, let's move right over to my computer. So here we are in PicLumen. And before we start, I want to go over my settings. Here I can choose model. We're going to start with PicLumen Realistic version 2. I am just creating one image per batch this time, and we're going to make square images. Advanced settings you find over here to the right side of the enter button. And we have guidance scale, steps, seed, and negative prompts. And I will talk about them one at a time. These 4 settings works in 4 of the 6 models. They work in PicLumen Realistic version 2, PicLumen Anime version 2, PicLumen Line Art version 1, and Pony Diffusion version 6. They don't work in PicLumen Art or in Flux Schnell. So what are they? Well, let's start by guidance scale. If we click on the little information here, it says control how strongly your prompt influence the generated image. The values here goes from 1 up to 30. The lower values give PicLumen more creativity and varied images. So maybe I should change this to 2 images so we can see variations. The higher value make your image more closely match the prompt you gave it. Values of 20 and above can lead to issues with oversaturation and distortions. A good value to follow is around 12. So let's put 12 here. And let me say, if you have played around with this and found a setting that you like for all these values, you can use that as default by clicking the button. So guidance scale 12 is a sweet spot somewhat. So let's start with trying a very simple prompt. A puppy sleeping on a couch. A very simple prompt. And we're going to start with the value 12, which is the sweet spot. Between 7 and 12 they recommend. So let's start with 12 and send that image. So here we have the 2 images. This is a little oversaturated, I would say. This one, on the other hand, is very good. So let's go back to create. Use the same prompt, but this time we're going to lower the value of guidance scale to 1, the lowest value. And as you can see, it is exactly what I asked for, a puppy sleeping on a couch. It hasn't got a lot of colors and a lot of other things happening. A very simple image. What happens if we turn up the guidance scale to 30? Well, we will soon see. And here you see what I'm talking about with using too high of a value. This is really getting outside of what the prompt said. You can still see it's a puppy sleeping on the couch, but it's very varied from the prompt. So let's go back to my 12 and keep it at 12 for the rest of the images. Next, we have steps. The information here says, determine the number of steps used to create the image. More steps can lead to more detailed images. The values here are from 1 up to 60. The lower number of steps, the quicker the image will be created, but maybe not as detailed. It might even look unfinished. The higher scale, the higher numbers of this scale will give you more details but take a longer time. And I think ideal here is between 15 and 30 maybe. I like to have it around 25, so we are gonna start there. So we are still doing a puppy sleeping on the couch. And steps 25, which will be medium length of time and hopefully medium details. This one looks pretty okay. The second one looks distorted. Let's just try it one more time and see. Yeah, this looks a little better. Now take a look at what happens if we set that value at 1. A faster render, but not as detailed. Not even looking at something. Let's go up to 15. And to explain what the steps is, each image starts as a lot of dots only. And for each step, it takes away to make a clearer image, if you can follow that thought process. Okay, we're starting to look like a puppy. Let's go up to 25. That should be the sweet spot, something around there. We're almost halfway. Those eyes look a little crazy, but here we're starting to look like a puppy sleeping on the couch. Let's go up to 40 this time. And now we are really getting into detail. Look at the fabric on this couch, for example, and on all the little strands of hair on this puppy. That was 40. Let's go all the way up to 60. What you don't see, because I cut out some of the waiting time, is that for each time I increase the number of steps, it takes longer for my image to be created. And here we are at 60, and I must say this is really well detailed. Let's take a look at the second one. I think I will stay around 40. That was these two images. That can be a spot I like to work with. Before we talk about seed, let's take a look at negative prompts. In negative prompts, you tell PicLumen what you don't want to see. This has been here since I started and I have left it. Here you can put, what's very common is things like no pixelation, no distorted hands, no distorted eyes, and so forth. We can also put in things like nudity. We don't want that. And the information it says here is specify what you don't want in the generated image. This you just have to play around with depending on what type of images you do. Seed. That is, set a specific starting point for the random number generated to create reproducible results. And if I click on this image, which I created earlier, I have a seed number here. So let's copy that seed number, go to create, and this time, since that was nature image, let's say that I want a lake at sunrise surrounded by flowers and trees. And we have the seed number pasted in under fixed. And this is a little bit in the style of the image I started with. But if we go back to the original image here and look at the prompt, a serene mountain landscape at sunrise, soft pastel colors and watercolor style. So I could add soft pastel colors and watercolor style to the prompt I just wrote. Soft pastel colors, watercolor style. And now it should be even more influenced by the seed number we have here. And here you go. Now it really looks like the image we started with. Something that's really fascinating is if I look at it, if I use all the same settings, and I can do that by copy complete information, and I go back to my create and paste it in here. You see now it have all the information here, such as seed number and everything that was in the first image. This should now create an exact duplicate of the first image. By clicking load parameters, it's changed the guidance scale, the steps, it set the fixed, and it changed the negative prompt here and just kept the prompt itself up in this area. And now let's see if we create the exact same image again. And here it is. So seed number give your exactly the same image as the one we looked at in my gallery here. Image a starting point. And the more you add to it from the original image you used, the more like that one it will be. I used this image, copied everything, and then I played with seed number, the same seed number, but changed the prompt. A lake early morning surrounded by trees, soft pastel colors and watercolor. Then I used the same one with the same seed number, and a small village square at dawn, watercolor. A busy city street at noon, watercolor. All I can recommend is that you actually play around with these numbers yourself. We are gonna log in to my free account here and take a look, and just to show you that you have the same settings here for the free account, but you have to be in one of the 4 models that can work with these settings. I hope this made things a little bit clearer for you. But now I hope and encourage you to test this yourself. In my next video, which will be the last one in the series about PicLumen, we will do some direct comparison between prompts used in PicLumen and in Midjourney. So if that is something you are curious about, I suggest you hit the subscribe button and the little bell so you get notified on when I upload. Since next week will be the last video in this series, I have announced my next series. I will take a closer look at using AI for creative writing. And on my community tab, I have a question for you about what you would like to see in that series and what ethical and moral complications you would like me to discuss. So if you have any opinion about AI in creative writing, go to my community tab and put your thoughts and your ideas in the comment section there. I will have a link to that post in the description of today's video. Until next time, stay creative. Bye.